Yes, sir.
Crazy.
Shout out Base,
Hey,
man.
Right.
We got one, man. Yeah, Keith let me hear that song a couple weeks ago. My first reaction, I was like, that's how I know. I was like, yes, sir. We got to get him on the pod, man. Yeah. So we back. Yeah. Welcome, Hit Dogs Holla, man. We back this week, man. Boy Kevo here.
Waddy.
it's your boy Keith.
Special guest in the building today, man. Shout out my boy Base, man. I give him a round of applause, man.
What's good, everybody? Appreciate y'all for having
Yes,
me.
sir. Yes, sir.
It's gonna be a good one today, y'all.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Man, look, I don't really even like, I don't lie to niggas, man. If I don't like this song, I'm not gonna say nothing about it. I'm just gonna be quiet. For real, for real. So like when I heard that shit, I said, yeah, that shit hard. That shit hard. So we got it. And we got another one for y'all, you know, at the end of this. So y'all stay tuned. We gonna give y'all another exclusive from my man Base, yo. But yeah, man, we wanted to get him on the pod today, you know, chop it up with him. First of all, hold on, real quick. Round of applause. We got my boy Keys back this week, man.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. How y'all feeling today, fellas? How y'all feeling, man?
Feeling great.
I'm
Yeah,
good.
man, I'm feeling good.
Blessed.
Oh yeah.
Can't complain.
Yeah, man. So look, man, we gonna get into you know bass for a minute, man. I like talking to artists, man, because you know you get a different perspective, you know how they do things and you know how they came up and shit. So you know, just give us a little background, try to figure out you know what got you here, why you even started you know making music and all that. You know, let them know who you are.
My name BaseHitta. I've been producing for about, I'd say like 5 years now. And really, so when I started, I was just hooked for real, for real. So like, since then, I just been consistent, just been working for real.
That's the biggest thing, bro, being consistent. Cause like everybody can do something once or twice, you feel me? But then to keep showing back up, making music, not getting discouraged, cause it should be hard, bro. Sometimes you make some shit, you love it, then 5 minutes later, you're like, that shit was whack, I don't like that shit, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So that's a big thing, cause like, you know, I dropped a couple songs, and my biggest thing, which I heard other people say, is like, you'll record something, you spend mad time writing, recording, and then you finish it, and then a week later you hear it, you're like, I hate this fucking track. But the real key, what I've heard and what I've learned is that like, it doesn't matter what you think, you know, put this shit out because you don't know what somebody else is gonna gravitate towards.
That's
So
how
something-
I felt
yeah.
about beats for real.
Right.
Like I didn't want to send nobody beats or show anybody because I felt like I wasn't ready yet.
Mm-hmm.
But like you just gotta do it. You can't really like psych yourself out because the longer you wait, the longer your road to success will be. So it's like you just gotta do it, and then once you do it, you see the reaction, and then you work from that. So like, I think it was about probably like a year in,
Mm-hmm.
I just only started like showing my beats on like Snapchat and shit. And then I started letting my friends know that's what I was doing. But I really like took it all the way serious and just started like really doing it for real when I told my mom I was gonna do it.
Okay.
So I had sat her down and shit, and I told her like I was like, hey, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. So I said this was going
That's
like
big.
take care of us type shit. So I needed to say that so I know like, hey, you really got to do this. You can't fuck around. So
Right.
really, that's just after that I started posting. Go ahead, started to introduce myself as BaseHitta, and really getting out there for real.
Okay. I just want to say, like, from a business side of everything, like, what is your approach to it? Because I know, music, it can be a very difficult thing, like, if you're not educated. But I know you outside of this, and so I know that you have previous business knowledge. So I just like you to shed some light on that, because I think it's really important for people to understand what they're getting into if they do decide to try.
Like, one thing for sure, I'm not gonna cap to you. Like, I've definitely put in more money than I've gotten.
Yeah.
But it's a part of the process.
Yeah.
And like, you gotta learn for yourself. Like,
Yeah.
you have to learn. You may not be the best at it, but you need to learn. You know, simple like, okay, what percentage I get? Who do I talk to? to get my money, like certain things like that. And I'm still in the process of learning that, but it definitely has to be just as important as making the music if you want to make sure you get your, you know, your money, because business come first.
100%.
For real, for real.
100%.
Because to be honest, I feel like it goes business, your image, then music. So like, I just been trying to like stay on that for real, and then everything else will just fall into place.
That's a fact. Cause how many artists y'all know that like you may not even like their shit, you think it's whack, but they popping.
Fact.
They got an image and they got the business right.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? So like I agree. That's 100%. Like those are the two most important things. The music come third. But if you got all three of those lined up, or if you kill in the first two and the third one is alright, you gonna be straight.
Yeah, you could eat forever off this shit.
Facts. I got another question for you. It's kind of a two-part question. What is your definition of a producer? And then also, are you more of a just create, like from scratch producer? Do you use loops? Do you use samples? Like, how do you like to create?
So the definition of a producer is like, they can make beats or they don't make beats. A producer is just somebody who like sees the whole song through. They can sit in the room with the artist, help them make the song. They can sit in the room with the engineer, help them mix the song. They can even sit in a room with label execs and talk about the budget and what they need to do and how much, they're able to spend and how much money they can work with, basically.
Okay.
And then also, sometimes you might even be a therapist for the artist. So they may come in the room and not have a good day, and you may have to, you know who you is, right?
Yeah.
You know where you came from, right? You gotta be able to just do all those things to produce good music. That's what a producer is. And a beat maker is just somebody who sits on the laptop and makes beats. And that's respected as well. I don't like when people like shit on beat makers.
100%.
But that's just what you do. So a beat maker is somebody who sits on the laptop, constantly make beats, and basically just sends them to the artist.
Okay.
And as far as like me producing, I lean more on the creative side. I do use loops, but I'm very like particular who I collab with.
Okay.
Cause I don't really care to do it like that, but I will do it like with producers, I fuck with, and producers who fuck with me. So like, I don't know. I just want to tell this story because we talking about collabs and stuff.
Yeah.
But when I was in Atlanta, 21 Savage DJ was hosting like this producer camp. Cause he's like working on an album, so I went out there, and first of all, I only had $300
It be like that.
when I went out there.
It be like that.
Real grind.
I'm telling you.
That's the real grind right there.
For real.
Because he said it earlier. He said he's invested more than he's gotten out yet. But
Yep.
a lot of people gotta understand that's a key. You really gotta spend money to make money in this world. You really do. You really do. But just stay down. Go ahead.
Who did I stay with? I went out to Atlanta. Damn, I don't remember where I was sleeping. But
It be like that too.
Yeah.
oh, shout out my boy Blake. I went to Atlanta, stayed with him, so I didn't have to pay for a hotel and nothing.
Okay.
Crucial.
Clutch.
So I go out there and it was free, but you had to get your ticket early because it was gonna sell out fast. And this was the first one. So went out there, I didn't expect shit. I didn't know what was going on. So I go out there. It's at this so Monster has a building that it's a studio.
Oh shit.
So they let people rent it out and use it. So basically 21 DJ and his people been holding that down and throwing their events in it.
Okay.
So this is the first one, and it was sponsored by Jokes Up. If y'all familiar with cannabis, Jokes Up is a popular brand. So
Okay.
weed company. So I go there, I check in, and I was early, but they let me stay. you know, and then it was like, oh, like, I was like, yo, who's selling whatever that I need some, you know, weed? And he like, we good, we about to give out some weed. I'm like, what you mean? He like, we about to hand out some apes so y'all can try. Exactly. So I'm like, oh wow, like this is different already. So fast forward, everybody started coming in, and it's a bunch of producers from different areas.
Okay.
Like, and we just collabing. It's like 3 studios, and you just collabing. So it was photographers and all.
That's
Artist was in there. I know Jacquees, songwriter, was in there. Pop Lord, he hard. Skate, he hard. He did some shit for 42 Doug when I was cooking up. And this, like, little things like this make me work more, cause it's like confirmation from God that I'm doing the right thing. So he come to me, he's like, hey bro, you hard, da 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 da. He was like, bro, my name's Skate, what's your name? He introduced himself to me. Mine was good. And I had met another dude, Prezi P, he hard. He from Alabama, he called him the flu guy. He tough. You know,
That's
so
really tough.
I had met them. He did some shit for CEO Trail, a
Okay.
couple other
Word.
niggas. And I had met 2 young nudie producers. But I really locked in with Mojo. He's one of the young nudie producers. He's hard. We
Word.
fuck with Baby Drill and shit. So being there and collabing with a lot of people, it gives you like a different insight on beats, and it help you like work on your shit more. And I may not even like to talk to you the whole day, like, but we just met as we're making beats, and they like turn out crazy.
Right.
So it's really good to collab because you meet a lot of people and it gives you a different sound. But so I stay on the creativity side and stuff like that. And I think what definitely helped me expand my sound was going there.
Okay.
Because I was making a beat, and so I know this. I met this guy. He had a lot to do with y'all remember OG Mako?
Oh yeah.
Bitch, you guessed it. Who him?
Yeah.
So he did a lot of his production when he was coming up. So I was talking to him, and he sent me some loops from this guy. I think he's like in France.
Damn.
So we had made a beat at the producer camp, and I had showed. So he sent me the beat Friday, and I had showed him the beat that Saturday, and I played it there. And then next thing you know, this producer that I knew about before I even started producing, his name is DJ Plug. He was like, hey, who made this beat? So I was like, me. And then told me to say DJ Mark B, he pointed at me. He was like, this shit hard. He was like, I'm about to put some keys on it. So he started doing his shit. And then it was just like an eye-opener moment, because it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, bro, I remember I had my first laptop, cooking up on my first laptop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that was dope. Like,
No, that's
for
great
real,
to
for
see.
real.
That's definitely
For real.
great to see. You kind of touched on it a little bit, but if you could put it into words, I know it's sometimes difficult when you're talking about music, but can you kind of describe what your sound is, if you have various sounds, or just what directions you want to go to in the future as well?
So for my sound, I can say it's very experimental.
Okay.
My melodies are very like ambient. I like the listener to feel like you hear the melody, but you don't,
Right.
and you hear something completely different. So like, the way I make my melodies is like, if you know how to train your ear to really listen, you can hear a whole nother melody inside the first one, like the main one. So I just been trying to clean it up, and it's been working out. My drums, I try to keep them bouncy, simple. I notice with me, like, the simple beats are the best ones.
Yep.
So, because at the end of the day, like, just music listeners, they don't really give a damn about, like, how complex a beat is.
Not at
I was
all.
gonna say, you'd be surprised how many times I stop, I look, and I ask a person, I'm like, so you don't hear those keys in the back, or you don't hear that little riff in the back of the violin? And they'd be like, what are you talking about? You don't hear that shit?
The average listener don't know shit like.
You're right, but
Even like what a hi hat is, they be like. What
yeah, I
is
come
that?
from a musical family. Like me and my brother, we both played the drums since we were real young. So my ear is like that. And then my dad played the keyboard, the organ, and the trumpet, and he played the drums too. So it's like we was always around music.
Exactly. So it's like the person is really listening to the whole song, not the beat. So I started like continuing like my creativity as far as like my melodies and stuff, but I toned it down. So really my sound is something that you probably wouldn't really hear. But
Yeah.
when you do hear it, you're gonna know it's me.
And I couldn't even like. I was trying to think about it when I was listening to your songs the first couple of times. Like, who do you sound like? There's no artist I can say you actually sound like, but I will say like listening to your songs, it sounds like you having fun. Like when you record, it sounds like you actually enjoy what you're
Whole
doing.
time,
and shit.
that's
You know
not
what I'm
even
saying?
me rapping.
Sheesh.
That's not even me rapping. That's my
Sheesh.
boy.
Yeah,
That's my boy, Mr. Chaketah.
that's not him.
Damn.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah,
That's big.
I'm the one that's making the beat.
So do you make it together? Like, okay, so the
Yeah.
song, y'all be together when y'all record the
Yeah,
songs, or
so
you send the
like,
beat to him?
I'm in the studio with him.
Damn. Okay.
So like,
Wait, I thought it was the same person. I thought it was the same dude rapping and making the beat.
nah,
Now y'all sitting here telling me it's not.
this is two
Hell
different
no.
people.
Okay.
Like, it's crazy you say that because like we just been trying to work on chemistry. You know, like really like sitting down and really thinking about how the hell we gonna make this music sound good. You know, like, and then it's like he got a job, I got a job. He tell me, yo, bass, I need you to do this, that, and the third. And I'm gonna tell him the same way, you know? So it's like, that's what we really been focusing on, so we mesh, you know? My sound is matching his voice is complementing my sound. So it's like, that's just the main thing.
That's a tough thing to do too.
Facts.
Like I gotta salute that. That's crazy.
I appreciate it.
But before to this point, let's go back because a lot of people don't know about that 6 month,
Oh, yeah.
little 6 month stand you went on.
Yeah.
You really locked in. Like,
Yeah.
explain that.
Okay, so like, I think, so I was home for a minute. I wasn't working, so I got a trade in electrical line work, and I had got that right out of high school. I did that, you know, I started when I was like 19. I did that, I was working, and I had stopped because I had got an injury, so I couldn't work. And I was home for a minute, and so my mom old laptop that had GarageBand on it, but my boy, shout out Darius, he had not Pro Tools, Logic Pro.
Logic Pro. Okay.
Yeah, Logic Pro. So he had sent me the information to log in on his Apple store and let me download it. The shit was like $200, but I didn't have it.
Tough.
So
Tough.
when I got it, before that, when I was on GarageBand, I started. I was already making beats, but it was on and off because some of my bros was rapping. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna make the beats. And life go on, I didn't talk to them anymore. But fast forward to my boy Darius, he let me get the Logic Pro. The 6 month grind was crazy. Like, if you ever dedicated yourself to something consistently, it's a crazy feeling, like you'll surprise yourself, like you even did it. Cause for 6 months straight, I cooked up every day.
Damn.
Every day I was making beats.
That's
From
key.
like 10 to 10, like for real.
A nigga Ye said one time in a song, the nigga said, I deserve to be here. I cooked up for 5 summers, 3 times a day.
Like, bro, like, I would be sleeping, making beats in my head.
Damn.
Like, I would have some
That's
weird ass
crazy
dreams.
dedication.
Bro, I would have weird ass dreams in the studio, like the Migos and murder beats. But the dream would feel so fucking real. Like, it was weird, bro.
That's how you know you're doing the right thing, man.
So it's
That's
like,
how you know.
nigga, like, that's all I was doing. All I was doing. I would look up some shit to, like, teach me the software, but I really, like, learned a lot of it on my own. And then, cause the process of trying to become a producer is like, you gotta see if you really wanna do this. Once you figure that out, you gotta learn the DAW you're using. So you gotta learn the software. After you learn the software, you gotta learn how to make beats, and then you gotta learn your sound. So it's like, it's
It's a
really a real process, and you gotta do it every day.
And you know what? That's the biggest difference too. Like with people who say they want to do something and people actually do the thing. Like, are you willing to sit there and lock yourself in and learn the shit? Cause everybody's gonna, when you first start anything for the first time, you're gonna be bad at it, right?
Yep.
But it takes that initial, okay, I suck at this, but I can only get better at this. Am I gonna keep, trying to get better, or am I gonna get discouraged and just be like, nah, like I'll move to the next thing? And people do that a lot. They jump around from thing to thing to thing, not realizing that if you just keep staying on this one thing, you lock yourself in for 6 months. You know what I'm saying? You can see a drastic improvement. And that's what damn near anything, but that's hard to do.
The reason why I go so hard too is because my first love was football, and I let people get in my head and tell me I couldn't do it, and I just didn't. It didn't work out. So I said, and it broke my heart. So I told myself, anything I do, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna be above average.
There you go.
I told myself I only want to make 100,000 on this.
And
Anything else that come behind that is just a blessing.
didn't you feel like though, like now that you're looking back on the football thing, because I can say that's similar to me when it comes to football. Like I thought like nowadays I'm thinking like, if I really just stopped giving a fuck and like actually did what I needed to do to get better, I probably would have been something different. As far as playing football, like, and so that's what you kind of bring into making beats and producing. Is like, all right, regardless of how I feel at the beginning, I gotta not let that shit bother me and just keep moving forward and keep trying to get better at it, because you let other people talk yourself out of your own dreams sometimes. You do shit like that.
Right.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So I was just like on a consistent grind. I would stay up late. Man, like when I tell you, you gotta be obsessed with whatever you wanna do, because that's the only way it's gonna work. You gotta do it when you tired, when you mad, when you broke. Like I done did that. I done had to figure out. Okay, I got $100. Shit, I want to go to the studio.
That
and
shit
I
ain't
got
cheap.
gas, and then I need food.
But that's what it takes. It's a certain sacrifice, because everybody can say that they're doing something, but it's a difference when you're doing something and you don't really have like any repercussions about what you're doing, and like you don't have any priorities weighing you down. But like when you actually have priorities weighing you down and you're still fighting and you're still scratching and making time to do what you need to do, that it really shows something. It shows a different level of, I want to say like a beast, or like dedication, or just desire. So that's definitely to be commended.
And like all that preparation you do in the background, that shit's gonna show.
Oh, for
Show your
sure.
work. That's the reason why you went to that event. People were like, yo, who made this beat? You did all that work on the back end,
Right.
so that when you made something, you put it in front of somebody, they already knew it was quality.
Right.
You feel me?
Yep.
Like somebody who just kind of it's gonna show if you half-ass.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It
So like,
always
that's
shows.
that's
Like, I
amazing.
ain't gonna lie, like even, and it's funny too, because like the more I do this, I keep getting confirmation that I'm doing the right thing, because I remember it's this producer in Charlotte named 20 on my beat, and he used to do these skip line things where you could play your beats and stuff like that on it live, and then they'll critique it, and you might get some opportunity from it. And I remember my boy Blake, he was in Germany for 6 months. So I was staying at his house watching his puppy. It was a King Corso, so like, So I basically was raising him too.
That's twice today, by the way.
So
That he done scared me with animal shit. Bro. That's twice. The tarantula
really,
shit.
it's really another
yeah,
one.
that's
We can
terrifying.
get into that later.
Oh my
so
goodness.
So he turned the master bedroom into a studio, and he just slept in it because it was a 3-bedroom house. He just slept in the room upstairs.
Damn.
And so I was just in there all day cooking up. So I started. It was like $25 or something like that to skip the line and shit. So I sent it to him, and I played the beat. Well, they played the beat, and then it was like how it came on. It was fire. It was fire, and that was the first beat on some real shit. Not even on no sucker shit right now. I had cried when I made that beat because that was the first time I felt like, yo,
You did.
I really got a chance.
It be like that.
No, but like, nigga, like, I really got a chance with this shit. Like, I really felt that in my chest. That's why I had cried, because it was like from when I first started to now, it was just like crazy.
Hell
So
yeah.
it's like that beat made me feel a certain way, and then that was the beat that they somewhat fucked with. And I got that confirmation. They said like, yo, we need change ups, this, that, and the third. And then that night, I just was going, bro. I just be going, bro. I don't stop with this shit.
That's the reason why you got to where you at, bro. Cause like, you keep going, through it all. Cause you won't get to see that or have that experience unless you put in the work beforehand.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like to even get there to be, cause I mean, odds are, let's be honest, if you put in half effort and you didn't care that much, you probably wouldn't even feel confident enough to put that song on the lot.
Right.
Cause you know damn well you didn't work hard enough to put that shit out. You feel me?
Right.
Big fact.
I do gotta say this though. It was my drive, but it's also my mom. My mom is a hustler. I seen her work 3 jobs, all that. So it's like, she helped me, like, she fueled me because I seen her work. But also too, shout out my cousin. He is Kemba Walker. He definitely, that's a blessing in itself, just to see somebody go from here to there. And like really big though, not just living in a neighborhood.
Facts.
Living in a big ass neighborhood and be able to help his family. And me being able to see that. So that's also a privilege as well to
Shout
make
out,
me
bro.
feel like, I could really do this shit. And the greatest gift he ever gave me was telling me some real shit, and it's simple as fuck. But just don't stop. Whatever you do, you can't stop, bro. Cause you never know, you might be around the corner. You might be 2 miles ahead. You just never know. So it's like you just gotta keep going. Since I got those examples, and just me being somebody like a man that wanna take care of his family, I'ma just keep going.
Exactly.
yeah.
Shout out to them.
Hell yeah.
And I've been a fan of Kemba Walker since UConn too.
He got.
I see that brother step back. I said,
Yeah. I was gonna say that's one of the
I
most.
said, whoever that is.
March Madness or just college players in general.
Crazy.
Literally, they just did a recent poll of him, and I think he came in like top 10 for like most memorable shots.
Bro.
That shit was nuts.
Bro, he
So
broke
that-
this man down.
Nigga, that.
He collapsed.
I said,
As tall as he
what the
was.
fuck?
And drilled that shit. And drilled it.
We ain't never seen bro since then.
Nah, that's a
Nah,
fact.
He left
though.
on the floor as
Yo.
we speak.
You know what that was, right? That was JaVale McGee, brother.
Oh.
Funny enough.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, that's JaVale McGee,
Damn.
brother. And yeah, bro. And Kemba, that's one dude, bro. Everywhere he went, what everybody said about him, that man worked hard as fuck.
Right,
For sure.
Like
So,
he balled here, he balled in Boston.
Our
he
greatest
balls.
player.
He balls.
So that's just examples,
Yeah.
Going back to the song you played in the beginning, IRS. Let's talk about it. Like, how did that come about? Working with Chaketah and things like that.
So Iris stands for I'm really sophisticated. That song came about, so me and Chaketah, we went to Atlanta, and we met up with his manager Ken. Shout out, we made it. First of all, that was my first time meeting Ken. And then we clicked. He mad cool, typical New York nigga, rowdy. You know what I mean?
Shout out New York.
So but he a real nigga, so I'm just tell you the whole day and then record it. So what we call is like lifestyle, like you really promote what you live for real, you know. So we kind of stand on that. So the day, and while we was out there too, Lou said, which Chaketah, he told me, he was like, y'all want to record a video and shit. So when we was on the way to Atlanta, we were just trying to pick songs that we was gonna record. But we did end up then shooting the video, but Lil Baby cameraman Lavish, him and Chaketah go way back, cause Lavish is from New York. So really, like, Lou stamped it that he had, that was his cameraman before Lil Baby type shit, like some funny shit. So he said he was gonna at least shoot some pictures. So like the whole day, niggas was just shopping at Lennox, and then we was at Phipps, like in like Neiman and shit, going through the mall and shit. So it was just some real lifestyle shit. He was hopping on the joints and shit like that.
Stop.
Chilling in the store and drinking the champagne. Shit, it's cooling for real. And then it's this reseller named Pat Moon. And if y'all familiar with like, you know, the drip and shit, like he's definitely like a top reseller. Like Lil Baby co-signed him and shit like that, and they got a store in the works. Hating dude. So we went to Pat Moon shit, but see, Chaketah had DM Pat Moon and said he was like, yo, I'm trying to come through, I'm trying to get some drip. And Pat Moon said like, we only deal with serious shoppers. So Chaketah like, what? So we like, nah, you gotta show him what's up. Like, we not captive. So he was like, I bet he think I'm playing, We go in there, we just start buying shit. And then that's like really why he said, Pat Boone asked him my DM, are you a serious shopper? And Adam said, are you done?
Okay.
You know, cause
That's hard.
Okay.
yeah,
That's hard.
yeah.
Hard.
Okay.
And Pat Moon reposted it.
I saw
He posted it on his story.
What?
And Pat Moon got like 100 and some thousand followers. So he had reposted that shit. And then he said, Chrome Heart sweater, Chrome Heart pants, something like that, I gotta move proper. Cause that's what he had got. He had got like a whole Chrome Heart jumpsuit and shit. And so I was gonna get some shit.
Fleazy.
I don't need to be spending the money.
But he rapping what he preaching. He preaching
Exactly,
what he living.
exactly.
So now,
That's important.
So now, like, after that, we go home, come back to Charlotte, and we in the studio. Shout out Lino, I was the engineer, and I had played him that beat, and he was like, "Yo, baby, what should I talk about?" I said, "Bro, we just came back from Atlanta. Like, it's time to talk. You know, we just got some experience, so, you know." So he was in there. He started. He just started talking. I moved by myself. So, and that's how he really moved, by himself type shit. So,
Valid.
he just started talking. Then he said, Pat Moon asked my DM, are you a serious shopper? Are you dumb?
Yeah, that makes so much sense.
He was like, should I say that? I said, fuck yeah, say that.
Hell yeah. That shit hard as fuck.
Hell yeah.
That went over my head when I heard it.
Because
Now he's up in the studio.
He got some more shit that'll catch you off guard.
So
That's hard.
So it's
That's
like,
hard.
I'm like, yeah, talk that shit, Lou. And that's what he did. And then I think what got him is like the piano, the do, like the little piano taps.
Yes.
You know what I mean? The simple 808, simple. And then he just ate on the beat. So the video, lavish visuals made that. That's a Lil Baby video man and photographer for real.
Word.
Lavish is tough.
Okay.
So they shot the video. I wasn't there for that. They had went back to Atlanta and shot the video in Pat Boone store. So like
that's a legendary full circle moment. Right
That's
there.
crazy.
So
That's
yeah,
crazy.
like really, he was just like, yo, I'm about to drop it. I'm like, let's drop it. So really, he said 2023, we was gonna do that. Like we just gonna drop, just continuously drop. But we got some shit.
Since we're on that topic, I don't know if you guys already have something in the works or if you can even say this, but when can we look forward to some more? Cause we ready. We ready.
We been ready, man.
Yeah.
So
we
like
ready.
the stuff with me is not dropping right now
Okay.
because like that's probably the best songs he got. Just because like, I'm really in the studio with him and you know I just pull up on him. We don't even gotta talk music type shit. We chilling. So
I was gonna bring that up too.
So like yeah, like me and bro got a real relationship and it's
Right.
funny because shout out my boy Mark, he introduced us. He
That's how it be.
introduced us type
For real.
shit and like at the time he wasn't seriously rapping so I wasn't really fucking with him because I don't want to waste my time with nobody that's not serious.
Right.
And then he had got his shit together when he moved down here and then he had shown me some music. I said, oh shit. And then our first song we made is Love with Chaketah.
Yeah.
I'll
the one.
play that one too.
Okay, yeah, let me
But
hear
like,
that one.
but like, it's definitely like one of my older beats, and he wasn't as good as he is now. But like, it was a sound that I just caught, and so I said, you know what? I don't need like even a producer that's known in Charlotte. He even said he worked with the baby, a lot of people. He even said, bro, I wouldn't even work with nobody else.
Shit.
Like, because of how tough he is. And his sound don't even sound like he's from New York. That's why I feel like
100%.
we can expand on that.
Yeah.
So really, like, that's what we've been doing. So, but it's deeper than music because we really got a relationship. That's my dog. So,
That's valid.
when you got that, music is crazy.
I believe it.
But I don't know exactly when we gonna like drop. Just know it's shit being made. He will be dropping a song soon, but it's not on my beat.
Okay.
But definitely tune in.
For sure. For sure.
So y'all gonna do like I guess maybe y'all already have, but project where it's just y'all two?
That's what he wanted to do.
Okay. I think personally, like when I hear albums like that, those are like my favorite joints.
Yeah.
Like when 21 did it, his shit with Metro.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
What was it? I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Savage Mode? Was it Savage
Yeah,
Mode?
yeah,
I think it was Savage Mode.
Yeah.
So whenever artists do that shit, like going forward, I'm just like, damn, because you get like a camaraderie, and those niggas maybe not even be like as tight as y'all two are. You know what I'm saying?
21 Offset too.
You know what I'm saying?
They be like this.
So
For real.
and that shit matters.
It
That
does.
shit matters a lot.
Some of the best projects we've gotten have been from that.
Yeah.
Like I
Collaboration.
didn't seen Lou be upset about some shit. We be in the studio, try to record, and it don't happen. I done drove, we gonna say 30 minutes to his crib, and he upset, and then he just can't record. But then it's like, that's when you supposed to be there, you know, just be like, fuck it, like, it's cool, like, because it's deeper than that.
That's your people.
That's right.
That's my people's type shit. So it's like, are you good before the music? So I think that's why like the music's starting to complement itself more, and he's still learning his sound. And me too. But I feel like the best artists and the best like production come from two people who are both coming up at the same time.
I agree.
That's fact.
I agree.
And I
That's
think
fact.
artist wise as well. That's why Lil Baby is doing as good as he is, because he came in early and he was just progressing.
Not only that, before any of this went down, if you like look at Gunna and you look at Turbo, or you look at
Right.
Doug and you look at Taurus and all the producers that they had, Wheezy and everybody else that's over there messing with them. in
That's what Chaketah said, because
Yeah.
Chaketah actually was in the studio with Young Thug and shit.
Yeah, but that's how that really
And
is.
Thug told him like, yo, like if you want to make this shit, you fine, find a producer, whatever, and y'all just work and don't stop. Like you just gotta keep recording. So like I think like that sit in his mind a lot, cause he already be saying like, yo, bass, I'm trying to be on some terrible on the gun and shit, like, you know what I
Because
mean?
if you think about it, every artist, at least in the hip hop genre, they have one. Jay had Ye.
Yep.
Drake has 40. Boy 1 to 2, but mainly 40. You just that's just how it goes.
Right.
Even Justin Timberlake, that nigga Timbo.
And the first to reiterate the point of like you getting like affirmation that you're doing the right thing. I think it's really important to note that like you've been around people who are in the industry. Like we talked last week about the 6 degrees of separation and everything.
Yeah.
The fact that you were connecting with 21 Savage DJ, Lil Baby's videographer, cameraman, like being in rooms with people who know people who know people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and then you getting your name familiar with those people.
Right.
That's a big part of people being successful.
Right.
100%.
Because you mentioned earlier what the business, the image, and then the music.
Right.
You got the business locked down.
Right.
People know who you are based off the stuff that you've done already.
Right.
So that I can't
And
speak.
then
Yes,
I
speaking
ain't
of.
gonna- I ain't gonna lie. Like somebody told me, it's like, why don't you? Like you real humble. Like you don't even tell nobody. I said, bro, it's nothing to talk about. Just because I met somebody, that don't mean we locked in.
That's a
So
fact.
it's not, I'm not gonna sit here and cap and act like, oh, I'm really. Nah, you gotta let. If you really want to do this, the motion just gonna come on its own.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's like it's weird. Like you met Nicki Minaj the Chun-Li song.
Yeah.
I done met that producer before, fucking with me,
Damn.
follow me and all that.
Damn.
Like,
I could
but
attest to
it's
that.
just like,
You never know.
but that's nothing. I appreciate it. That's confirmation. Like I said, I need it, but I need the bass hitter needs to be known.
Oh, for sure.
Like,
For sure.
like people gonna understand. Like I will be marketable and all that. Like this is just deeper than me being a producer. You know,
It's
so
an entity.
exactly.
I can see why
I'm
y'all
with
get
you.
along so well. Cause y'all a lot alike. You and Keith,
Yeah.
for sure.
That's really my brother.
Cause like
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
see Keith knowing bad niggas and being like, yeah, I just didn't tell you because you never asked me. Type shit.
Facts.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Damn, man. Yeah. So yeah, we're looking forward, to hearing your project. You know what I'm saying, with Chaketah, man. Shout y'all boys out, cause y'all got some heat for real.
Big facts. The sound. Y'all
It
tune
sound
in.
crazy. It sound crazy for sure. Question we gonna let's talk about it.
I was saying, what's the number one reason you think people fail at what they want to do?
I ain't gonna lie, I feel like it's social media in a way. They follow, well, they see how, like celebrities, let's say like, I ain't gonna lie, I fuck with Dirk Crazy, so I see like, well, I seen how he really, grounded to where he is now, but a lot of people don't see that. So I feel like they might see the, the good side, but they don't understand the bad side to it too.
So
Like
do
for
they see
me.
the finished product?
Yeah,
They see
like
the
that's
end?
all they see.
Okay.
They see the end, they don't see the work you have to put in or nothing like that.
The biggest thing I think I would chalk it up to is just simply, like at the simplest form, not having the mental strength to endure what comes with it. Kind of pretty much what he's saying, but not being mentally strong enough to be like, alright, like if you're just starting out, that shit's gonna be hell. Like we've said it on here before, like if you're just starting a business or you just start anything you wanna do, like in the beginning stages, that's just gonna be hell. It's just gonna be rocky. It's all on you. You can't turn to nobody because this is something that you're trying to build for yourself and your family to change your life. So you gotta understand that, yeah, at the end of it, yeah, it might be all smiles, it might be happy living, but when you're trying to get there, that shit is hell. You gotta pull yourself up every day. You gotta stay committed. You gotta keep going hard. And then even when your hardest ain't enough, you gotta dig down deep inside of yourself and go even harder. So that's what I chalk it up to. And if you're not willing to do that, then I don't know.
That's facts. I think my answer is similar to yours, Brendan. I think that I mentioned it a little bit earlier. It's that initial not knowing what you're doing, right? So with anything, there's a learning curve, right?
For
So
sure.
at first you'll start something, and let's say you have like some early success, what they call beginner's luck, right? You're doing well at something, like, okay, I kind of have an idea. Eventually, and every time you're gonna hit that wall, and that wall is gonna be shit. I don't know anything about this part. I know nothing. So now you're back down to square one, and you're like, damn, I don't know anything. At that point, I think a lot of people will quit right there, because they're like, it was going well, and then I hit a wall, and so now I'm just like, well, I don't know anything, so maybe I can't do this. Maybe this is not for me. Maybe I should quit and try something new. And then that's when people, I think, tend to give up the most, and so they never actually break through that point. Because I mean, obviously, at that point, you might get real confidence and get really good at what you're doing, and you go all the way up, but you stop down here, so you don't even see the ending. So kind of on the perseverance note and everything, but. Yeah, I think that's a really big part in why people fail and why they don't want it. They don't continue doing what they could have been doing, even if they're really good at it at one point. They just stop. You know what I mean? So that's a deep question, though. That's a good question.
Fact.
I like that one. But yeah, I mean, I think in general, like people just, it's like I think all of our answers are valid. You have to persevere. You have to have that grind to keep going through this shit, because it ain't just gonna be peaches and rainbows. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be hard work. It's gonna be dedication. It's gonna be a lot of time and effort, and a lot of working through working and not seeing any results. That's a big thing, because I can attribute that to like working out, right?
And that's what I mean about the mental strength. Like a lot of people, like it's like a microwave generation. Like everybody's so used to everything being so accessible right away. So it's like when you actually decide you want to sit down and work for it, like you're impatient. Right? You're like, why is this shit not popping off? Why is this shit not going? But anything worth having was not acquired in a day. So it's just like you got to keep that mentality and just understand it's a bigger picture. And with a big picture, it's a long road that's gonna build up to it.
Okay, so I got another question. So, can y'all agree? Y'all know what y'all want to do around this table?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, 100% sure?
100%.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's my second question. If somebody offer you $50 million to quit what you want to do, would you do it?
B. I gotta think on that one.
Fair.
I gotta get my words together, my thoughts together.
That's tough because y'all gonna say
I ain't
I'm
gonna
lying. That's tough because I'm really the type of person I'll bet on myself. So the type of shit I want to do, I feel like if I keep doing it to my best ability, I'll eventually end up scaling up and retain my own ownership. I feel like I could build something that ends up being worth more than that. So it's like, that's a tough one. That's a tough one for sure.
I gotta go with no. I gotta go with no only because a lot of what I've seen or heard from people who do make it and do make a lot of money, it's not about the money you make, it's about a lot of times what you do to get it, or like what kind of life you live. So if you tell me the one thing I care about the most I can't do, then it's sort of like I have money but I have no fulfillment.
Exactly.
And a lot of rich people who have no fulfillment, they tend to go into, they start, doing drugs heavy, and then they have overdoses, or they start just acting out and just destroying their life, because it's like they don't have that thing that they want, or they're striving for. That means the purpose, basically the purpose.
Not even that. If it's a scenario like that, that's such an instant, like you're there, that'll fuck up your mind, like so easily, because you were just on this grind that you were gonna get somewhere. It was gonna be so fulfilling, but you just cut all of it short. So I'm gonna quit, and you're just gonna take that one lump sum. That's gonna like if you're not prepared to be in possession of that kind of money, you're most likely gonna squander it.
And I never thought I would say no to 50 mil. But when you say, when
you gotta really break it down.
You say,
because
now you're telling me I can't do shit, right? Right, the thing I want to do, right?
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, the first thing I thought of 50 mil was I would fund the thing I wanted to do. But now you're telling me I can't do that.
Exactly. See,
so what the fuck? What's 50 mil good for?
My exact thing. I said this to you. It was like 3 years ago. I was like, there's gonna be an eventual point where I'm gonna wake up one day and I get dressed and everything I have on is gonna be made by me. And I meant that shit. So if you give me 50 million and the biggest thing I do every day is get dressed, then that's what I'm trying to do, along with this podcast and other little side ventures as well. because I'm never banking all my money on one thing. That's
Right.
not how you get there. But that's a different conversation for another day. But yeah, I don't know if I'd be able to swallow that pill.
You stick me in a mansion and I got 50 mil and there's nothing. I just have the money, bro. What the fuck am I gonna do all day? Like,
I'm taking the money.
you are.
I'm taking the money.
So you're not producing no more. You cannot produce, right?
I can't produce, but I can definitely still be in the music industry.
How?
I don't
That's-
have to.
okay.
That's why it was kind of both sided for me in my head because it was
If
like,
that's the
but
case,
if
then
it's
I
saying-
just gave
if
my
it's saying
idea
walk-
to a little homie.
If it's saying walk away from music right now,
That's what I'm
50
thinking.
million, I'm walking away.
Completely.
I'm walking away, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because
I mean, you can still go out and parlay that money, but
even though I bet on myself and I really do love music, I'm gonna have to do a lot of trials and tribulations to reach that 50.
Facts.
Usually people do what they love, but it's also the motivation of the potential money you can make.
Right.
$50 million is a lot of money.
Facts.
So it's like, I get it, but this is just like free falling when you know you got something at the bottom, basically. Versus just free falling and you have to vision it's something at the bottom. So like, I can get $50 million and walk away, give my family, set them off.
Yep.
Because at the end of the day, what's more important than me pursuing music is taking care of my family.
Okay.
So I'm a sacrifice this kind of guy. I can sleep good at night knowing I'm fucking loaded with bread in my family versus me actively trying to work towards my goal and watching my family struggle and I can't do nothing about it.
when you put it that way, I'm torn because
Definitely.
I'm the type of person, like my actual goal, like if I say it out loud, like people are gonna look at me like you're never gonna get that. But it's my actual goal, so it's like with the
say
no. Oh, it's to basically set my family up for generations, not just the one I'm here. So like
Okay.
changing my bloodline pretty much, like the whole thing, like
Right.
to where like I'm gone, it's 2-3 generations after me and they're still prospering off of shit I did in this lifetime. So like with 50 million, if I took the instant 50, yeah, you could do that, and I mean I'm business savvy, so you can parlay that for sure into more money. But it's just the lack of having that void. But you do also make a good point in taking that one lump sum and being able to go to sleep at night knowing that you're taken care of and your whole family is taken care of for now. So I don't know. That's a tough one. I can't even say which I'd really choose, because when you see the different perspective, that's a heavy one.
Yeah, that's definitely a decision for a man though. Like, and what I mean by that is like somebody really like, okay, are you willing to sacrifice for the greater good type shit?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I think that men derive their feeling of success from what they accomplishments, right?
Yeah.
Like, I guess, so the thing why it has me torn, I know I sound crazy saying not taking the 50 mil, but the thing I'm thinking about is I want to be like a successful like entrepreneur, right?
Yeah.
So that's
that
different.
status.
That's different venues,
Right.
right? That's different. Exactly. I have a certain status to do that.
Right.
And like, if you tell me you're giving me 50 mil, but I can't do shit, cause like if I say like my number one thing I want to do is run an exotic car rental business, right?
Right.
And you tell me I can't do that, but I can still do podcasts, I can still do clothing lines, I can still do this, that, and the third, then yeah, give me the 50 mil. But I'm thinking you're telling me I can't do any of that shit. So now I got 50 mil and I'm just like off in the middle of fucking Utah somewhere with all this money. It's like, so I can't do shit. I gotta live at home and just be here every day.
You
That's
can still
tough.
do other things, but you can't do your main, what makes you really happy.
Then I'm saying taking the 50 mil. The reason why is I could find different shit that make me happy. Like, you feel me? It may not be the number one thing, but that also changes with time, because at one point I thought playing football was the number one thing in my life that made me happy.
Right.
But now that that's dead and gone, I can move on and say, okay, well I still want to do X, Y, and Z.
But you know, like, if nothing take that number one spot though.
Facts.
So it's like,
That's a fact.
That is a fact.
it's just like that feeling that you get from that number one thing, no matter what else you do, it don't make you feel like that.
Yeah.
So it's like, that is like a big, but see, that's a part of that's what makes me really happy though, because with everything else going on in my life, I can do this and be alright type
Yep.
shit.
That's
So you
deep.
would
That's
make
hard.
that sacrifice for 50 million. But I think it's worth it.
At the end of the day, yeah, because like you said, you're taking care of your family, and I mean, what's more important? Me feeling fulfilled myself, or setting up my family for generations? You know what I'm saying? Like, I can almost live with taking that L for myself and just being like, fuck it.
My family better have a day for me.
Yeah, that's
I need to be
right.
celebrated. Like,
Yo, yeah.
Facts.
For
Yeah.
real.
Big facts.
I need kids named after me. I need all that. I need everything because I'm giving up my
some thirds,
fucking
some
happiness, which,
fourths.
you know, that's honorable to do. So I'm gonna need something.
Yeah.
I need something back for that.
Right. Picture me sitting on the, you know how they got the big ass porches
Yeah.
over the fire.
He need the porcelain bust where they do the life size sculpture.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I need a statue
Put it J.
If I do that, oh for
on
sure.
the family estate.
For sure.
I need a statue in front of that bitch.
That's what I want.
You know what I mean? I did that.
I got
That's me.
another
Oh,
question.
Okay.
I always like to dream big. So
Mhm.
For sure.
okay, you got 5 million.
Okay.
Would you want a beach house, lake house? What did I say? I said that's what it was. Would you rather have a beach house or a lake house?
I'm taking
Five.
the lake house.
Okay.
Is the beach house anywhere I want it to be? Like any part of the country?
Yeah. In America.
Beach
In
house.
America. Okay.
Malibu. I'm good.
I'm gonna take the beach house.
I'm good.
I really don't want either, but I'm gonna take the
Facts.
beach house.
I wouldn't prefer either of
Yeah.
those. But
I'm more of a buy some land in a cut
A
to
lake
build
house?
and then build on that shit. But a beach house would be tight though, cause that's just endless
But
vibes.
see, you can have a lake house in the cut. That's why I would say lake
it's in the
house.
cut.
Yo,
You can have that shit in the cut. Your shit
That is a fact.
snake all the way down. You got part of the lake in the back of your house.
I'm not in a cut.
Say done shit.
So you could be on
I'm,
Front Street.
I'm hustle and bustle. Yeah, I like to be in the front. Yeah.
Cause the whole time you could have your crib right where the big main part of the lake is.
But look at Malibu. Malibu is where everything is.
Malibu's fire.
but see, that's why I like the lake. I feel like it's shit more calm for me.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Relaxing
sure.
and shit. Get to go fish.
I pull in
Like, shit
Miami.
like that.
And I don't trust that water in the lakes. I don't know. I don't like lake water versus ocean water. You feel me? That scares me too. Cause are you gonna get it? You gonna have a boat, right?
I mean, I don't be
I
swimming in
definitely
lakes and
do
shit, but
Exactly.
You know, not all lakes are murky though.
Yeah. The ones I've been to though.
Yeah, not for sure.
Shout out Lake Norman. That
Oh,
shit
really?
brown.
I done been there.
I did.
I've been in Lake Wiley.
Wiley,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, I've been
Wiley.
to Wiley for real. I've been there too much.
I can't do that. Yeah, Malibu, me please, or Miami, I guess. You said beach or lake?
I said beach.
Yeah. So where you at?
I'll probably be in Hawaii. Somewhere in Hawaii.
Okay. Yeah, you got money and you with them big ass centipedes. You got it. I'm good. Bro, I really think about where the bugs at, bro. I don't want to be at. I can't be. I can't be in Hawaii and I cannot be in Australia.
I'm just thinking how it's gonna feel when I'm hot, really. Cause if I'm in Hawaii, I'm blowing. Yeah.
For sure.
I got a beach house in Hawaii.
You'll feel good. You'll feel good in San Diego. On the beach out there, you'll feel good.
Yeah.
You'll feel good. You'll feel good in Malibu. You'll feel good in Miami.
I would.
Houston, they got beaches out there too.
I didn't know that.
You'll feel alright. Houston's real close to the water. That's why it floods.
I'm gonna go to Houston.
It's under the water, I guess, sea level. It's under sea level. That's why it floods so bad out there.
I
Which is
didn't
why I
know
wouldn't want to live there.
that. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So like the houses out there, they a lot of them have flood damage. So whenever a hurricane or something come through, that's why I would never want to get a house there. That's why if I ever move to Texas, it would have to be Dallas, Austin, or something like that, because they flood too much in Houston. But aside from the flooding, that's where it's at. From what I hear, I ain't been. I ain't been.
Go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
man.
Got to record, man.
By any chance, if that festival ever come back, I'm going to it in Houston.
Which one?
The Astro World shit.
Oh,
That's
Slim. It's slim. If it ever happens,
it's
I'm
dead.
going.
It's dead for that. It's dead for that. That's a bad play on word though. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for rocking with us this week, man.
Yes,
It's been a
sir.
pleasure, man. Shout out to Base, man. Shout out to Chaketah too, bro.
Shout out.
Y'all got some
Appreciate
heat,
y'all
man.
for having me, man.
Definitely ready to see what you got cooking up come soon, bro. Let them know where they can find you at though on the socials.
My Instagram is BaseHitta, BaseHitta. I'm on YouTube now, BaseHitta Beats, BEATZ. But I really be on Instagram for real, so y'all just follow me on the gram. That's where I post most of my content.
Y'all go check them out for real.
Oh,
Yeah, tell
and go ahead, follow Mr. Chaketah, Mr. Chaketah, CHAKETAH.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, yeah, we're gonna leave y'all with a song right now by them again. That's Chaketah and my man Bass. It's called Mad at You. Y'all thank y'all for rocking with us, man. We're gonna see y'all next week.
You stacked them 808s crazy.
Huh?
You stacked them 808s crazy.
So many bitches that didn't work out, and niggas are cheaters. So many bitches, I miss her friend, she always work out. 2 a.m., you know I'm around. I kill this bitch and I leave it in my eye. I met on her family, I step in the house, I step in the house. Mad at you, we robbing this nigga, we been running out. Mad at you, we watching the movie, I see the whole mouse. Mad at you, I don't have a heart, I move like a hoe. I can't miss some rags, you split this rag, you just let the tongue. Let's go.
Let's go.